So just some highlights about the OUD form to begin with. So some or all of you may have seen these. Sorry guys who aren't on the profile EMR, but this will give you some ideas of what you might want to add to your form in Oscar as well. So we have this on the top left of the form now. We have a place where you can specify where the person's getting their OAT. This will help us a lot in sorting our patients and figuring out who we're actually needing to follow. So some people you're getting primary care from our sites, but getting their methadone elsewhere, you can now specify this and this will make our lives easier. Treatment stage comments, so we had some requests to add this box. So you can use this now to put some comments about what you're doing with your prescription. So for new starts and restarts, for example, if you're starting on Cadian and want to put Y, you could put that there. That's something that some of the stabilization clinics, the RAC, had been asking for. So you can use that field now. There's a supplementary prescription field now. It's hidden by default, but if you click show, it will give this drop-down list and you can put another duplicate prescription there or a methadone prescription there, because we know a lot of people are on more than one form of OAT. Remember this harm reduction checklist. You can use this to easily document if they have naloxone training, and then, often when I see the patient, I'll ask, do you have a naloxone kit today? And you just check that box in the top right, and that updates and documents that you've asked that at today's visit. So this is our PROMIS quality of life scoring tool that people have been using. So it's been done for 507 clients so far. Some clinics have done quite a few. And others are just getting started at looking at this. So the idea is one of our collaborative outcomes is we want to improve our quality of life in our clients over the time of the collaborative. So we would ideally be wanting to do this at least twice for each patient. So some teams have been working towards that. I think the IDC, you can see Vicky is the top promiser so far. So I think they're trying to do it quarterly. Maybe for our teams with a lot more people that's not feasible, but good for them there. You can see the form here. It's very simple, 10 questions. You just click the responses in. It automatically calculates the score and then puts the score on the OUD form. So I'll keep mentioning this. This is how we calculate retention. This most recent OAT start date, it'll be set automatically if you do a new start or restart. But if it's missing, fill in your best estimate, and then we can get retention data out for those clients. Pharmacy information, you can enter this now on the OUD form. So if you click the button that says care team, you can add it in the care team, and you see the number of pharmacies added per month on the right there. You can see since we added that option, it really has taken off. So it's kind of an example of if there's something information you feel is important that we have, consider suggesting that we put it on the OUD form.
It's really great information to us to have because that's the way we can track people in the community if they stop showing up.
Yeah, so that's a good point from the overdose outreach team. It's yet another way where we can try and follow up with the clients. So that's great. So now 900 clients have it entered. Hopefully we'll get to where it's there for everybody and being checked periodically. We've also been talking with the ministry. In the back end of PharmaNet, they do have the pharmacy information. It's just not displayed to us for some, I think, archaic reasons. So they are working at trying to change that as well. So when we put that in, we can get the data back out and see who are our top pharmacies. You can see Peer at the top there, Bond, all these different ones. So if you put your data in, we can then see which pharmacies maybe we should be working closely with to get the biggest bang for our buck in terms of improving outcomes. Other things coming soon, we're trying to clean up how the information's sent to the encounter note. We have a new developer working on the EMR team dedicated part-time to doing our quality improvement work. We're going to get the rapid UDS results to be sent out. We're going to get a text box that's best way to contact, so another thing for the overdose outreach team. Copying from last entry, you'll see that it's not doing it probably in the best way right now. We're fixing that. And we're always open to more suggestions, so email me if you have them. We've had quite a few and been able to build a lot of them in. So the key thing that is coming very soon, and you've heard me say this word soon that I hate now from saying it so many times, are these queries that should be in production soon. So when you run it and you put in your 3-letter clinic code, you'll be able to see a list of the latest form information for each of your clients. So I cut off the client information on the left, but then you will get information like that. Whoa. Get information like that. And then you'll be able to sort by when the prescription's coming due, and then arrange your follow-up, make sure everybody got in from there. So hopefully that'll be a key tool in helping us increase retention. It should be day-old data, yeah. Just like the other queries that are in production right now. So just some data from our collaborative. So this is among our boost teams in the profile EMR. The number of patients receiving OAT is obviously going up. That's mostly driven by the blue line there, which is Suboxone and Cadian prescriptions. Methadone's going up a bit, but it's driven by the other two. This is a number of OUD forms created in the month, so that's continuing to increase, and we have really good uptake. You can see that, about only 10% of the Suboxone and Cadian prescriptions being made now among our teams are not being made using the form. So ideally it's 0. We know there are some Cadian prescriptions for pain where it's not appropriate to use the OUD form, but we're getting very close to everybody using it, which is great. These are this is kind of for fun, seeing who's created the most forms. You see Dan on top there, but he's not in as much of a lead as he was before. So some other people here. Eric, you're pretty close. I think you could catch up to him. These are the sites where the most have been created. So, kind of what you would expect in terms of volumes. And this is what we can start, if everybody's using the form and we're doing this right and labeling people with the right diagnosis, we can get this data out. So we have almost 3,000 clients. You may notice it's a bit less than when I updated this last, is because we removed the Heatley clients, because they formed a new clinic. Most of those patients were among our teams before. But maybe that team will join in our next wave of the collaborative. You can see a big gap here, right? So out of these about 3,000 clients with OUD in our system, only 44% have an active prescription. So that's a major area for improvement for us, I think. We need to get a lot more of these people back on therapy. And then finally, we can get this sort of retention data. Okay, so we need that start date entered that I mentioned earlier, and so that 78% of folks have that entered if they have an active prescription, so it's pretty good. But make sure it's entered for everybody. And then out of those clients with active prescription, 69% have been on therapy for 3 months or longer. So we want to get that up quite a bit. We don't want to keep having people on therapy for very short periods because it doesn't do them much good that way. All right, that's everything. Any questions about any of that? I can, for all that data you saw there, we can send a breakdown by team, by provider, by any way you want to break it down. We can look at that for your team if you think it'd be useful. And then where there's a gap, we can look at the list of patients for you guys to follow up on. For example, who are my patients with OUD without active prescription? We can get that type of stuff for you. All right.